Say action.
Action. Why?
Young.
Why'd you look at me like that? That's a good reaction picture.
Yeah, just get a screenshot of that.
That's a good, like, you won't believe what's on the docket today. This game made Shua uninstall.
Dang. A lot of games make me uninstall.
Is this the Elden Ring of platformers?
Gran Turismo 7 bad.
I didn't have time to put the whole article title. Anyway, not to spoil the podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 16th episode of the Cedar Squared podcast. I'm your host, Zach, and joined with me, as always, is...
Shua.
And I'm Steve.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
Our podcast can get their driver's license now.
Yeah, it's true. They got their permit, now they're ready to go. They already take their friends to the Jack in the Box or whatever.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what I did.
You're like, man, I'm so cool.
I know, I can go Jack in the Box whenever I want because it's 24 hours.
Get those cheese sliced tacos.
And you know what, though? Those were a deal.
I like how you said they're not good.
Solid.
You just said it's a deal.
That's not. I mean, when at that price, you're not paying for the
You're paying for the experience.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like going to the cheap theater. But anyway, our podcast is sponsored by Paramount Plus. Say you don't want to go to the theaters and you don't watch some movies or some TV at home, use Paramount Plus. Watch great shows like 1883, Star Trek Picard, and the new Halo series. Start your subscription today using our link in the description of this episode. Today's podcast is also brought to you by Razer. Real gamers, rise up and get yourself some nice Razer stuff. They got like... what are they, shoes? They got some shoes now with Kariyuma, and they got like the little snake thing. I don't know if this link works for that, but
you can find it.
You can find stuff. There's other stuff too. I mean, you can be traditional, just get yourself a mouse and keyboard. They have some pretty good deals right now, so feel free to use the link in the description of this episode for your Razer stuff. Today's podcast is also brought to you by NordVPN. Save 68% on 3 years with NordVPN right now, and use our link in the description of this episode. And last but not least, today's podcast is brought to you by Instacart, now offering snacks. Save on free delivery of $10 more on your first order now by using our link in the description of this episode. Hello, are you setting the mood right now or something?
Yeah, you already know, dude.
Well,
nice.
What was the color of your week?
Oh, this week? Like orange. You know what I mean? Spring break is coming, and I am like surviving, but it's about here, dude. Party time. You know what I mean?
It's party time.
Yeah. Sleep time.
Sleep time. That's partying.
Yeah.
Sleeping
when you
in.
become older. Yeah.
Going to bed early.
You'll
Naps.
understand when you'll understand when
I'll understand in about 9 months.
About 10 months.
Yeah. When I get up there.
Yeah.
Like, my back's killing me.
You're still young. You know, you still have your whole life ahead of you.
I still got my whole 10 months ahead of me.
How are you, Steve? What's your color of the week?
I would probably say green. I don't know, just green. It's been alright, right? It's been alright. It's been a pretty good week.
That's good.
It was a pretty busy weekend, and it was really busy with my buddy's wedding. So that took up pretty much my whole weekend, and then yeah, it's actually pretty nice to just like calm down this week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. What have you been doing this week?
I've just been honestly been playing Fortnite.
Oh, dang.
He's in
I've
there.
played Fortnite.
Yeah,
You got me.
You bought the battle pass?
I did.
Oh,
The day we do the streaming.
All
We
right.
streamed
Hey.
we streamed Fortnite about the Battle Pass.
Dang, game over. You even stopped buying the Apex Battle Pass.
I never did. I never bought it.
Dang, that's crazy.
Dang. We see where he's loyal to, but I appreciate it. I also have the battle pass, so
I don't know. It's just really
See,
nice that they do have a solo mode.
yeah, that's fair.
So I don't know.
hmm
But not so. I have this thing where because I'm still having these download issues on Steam, where like I don't know. Like at first there was like a 7 gig update, but now it's like a 12 gig update, and like I don't know what's going on.
On
And, like
Apex?
it, like yeah, like it completes, and then like it takes forever to install, and like it does like this whole weird loop where
Yeah.
it starts over. So I
Huh.
have to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cat.
Yeah. No, I use it through Origin, so I wonder if I
Origin,
don't
yeah.
know. I don't know, but then you'd have
I'll
to
probably
restart
just
all your stuff.
uninstall it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, how's your week, Zach?
It's pretty good. I mean, I guess it's been a couple weeks since we did this. I've almost beaten Elden Ring. I'm like,
Mhm.
I have gotten to the end, but I have not finished the end because I know it's the end and I don't want to do Game Plus yet.
Mhm.
I want to
Well,
do
it doesn't kick you right into it.
New Game Plus.
Yeah, it doesn't kick you right into it. Like you can still like explore it.
Yeah, but I feel like after I beat the boss, I'll just New Game Plus. After that,
I feel
I'll
you.
cash
Mhm.
out my stuff, and then I'll move on and
Cash
do
me
it
outside.
again, and then probably respec or something. But I've been doing that. I'm playing Fortnite too.
Fortnite 2, nice.
Yep, the sequel, the
Yeah,
one where they took out the building.
It's
They
actually on
fixed
Fortnite 3
it.
right
They
now.
fixed this weird bug where you could make stairs and walls. They got rid of that bug, and
Yeah.
they made the game perfect now. So
That's
go.
great.
That's funny. At the school, one of the kids mentioned it's like, "Hey, have you played Fortnite?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, actually, I actually did." He's like, "Are you playing the building mode?" I'm like, "Nope, not even touching that." And he got
Yeah,
pissed at me. He got mad at
yeah.
me. He's
No,
like, "Wow,
they hated it. They hated
yeah, they hate
not
it."
building.
They had to use skills. They
Yeah.
couldn't just mash the keyboard anymore or the iPad screen.
Dang.
I know it's pretty good. The shooting, like I always thought Fortnite had like the superior third person shooting experience.
Opposed to PUBG?
Yeah, better than PUBG's.
Yeah, no,
Oh yeah, no,
Shooter.
I mean, is that what you're comparing it to? The
I'm
superior?
compared to like honestly like any like third person shooter. Like period.
like H1Z1 was pretty janky.
Yeah.
Like anything that's like a third
Yeah.
person, like with the crosshair above, like Battlefront, like how that used to be.
4, bro?
Resident Evil 4 doesn't count. That's not a third person shooter. That's more like survival
Kind of
horror
is.
with that you can hold the and it falls more like into that Gears thing where it's like blind firing.
Oh yeah, they were for like moments. It's yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is a whole different podcast.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, it feels really good. So the only thing I didn't like about Fortnite was the building, and now that it's gone for good, for the foreseeable future, I see myself playing it a lot more in my free time. However, that will probably go to rest now because 6.1 for FF14 comes out tomorrow
Oh, shit.
or something like that. Tomorrow or day after, I don't remember.
It's over.
But big update time, so I gotta get in on there. What
The
else
first
have I?
Major
No,
patch of the new expansion, right?
Yeah, first major patch. This is the one with they fixed the grapes and all that. If you don't know, the grapes were like polygons, and they're fixing it. There's like a whole meme.
Dang, that's crazy because Final Fantasy 15, the food looks so good.
Well, 14 is actually really old,
Mhm.
technically, so
That's right.
it makes sense why they're on borrowed time with that game. Another thing, the merch came out
What?
since we last recorded this
They have
stuff.
merch?
Yeah, we have clothes. We have
Can I buy that?
we have lots of you can buy that now. You could
We're
buy
gonna
that
get that.
using
Where
the
did
link in the description of this episode. You'll have to wait till the episode's up, but it's there, and you can buy stuff and wear stuff.
What can I buy?
T-shirts, hats, beanies, you name it.
You name it.
Don't name anything else.
Oh,
Though.
yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, that's
But yeah, this is a long time coming. I would say I always wanted to do merch, but I didn't know how to, and it was a lot of work on the planning stages, and then like, okay, how do we release this stuff? And it was like, okay, let me figure out something. And so I got with my good friend Roy, which shout out to at MTRO Pro, Metro Pro, on Instagram. He's a pretty cool guy, and I've known him for a while, and he's into photography. So I always wanted to like work with him on like something. So I thought, you know what? Let's collab for this merch shoot. Let me get some people, and we'll go figure something out. And we were definitely like debating, like, should we just do this in like the woods? And it was like, yeah, let's just. What could go wrong, you know? So, we got our camera. I recorded video, and we made a trailer and shot some pretty nice pictures of the stuff, because that was a big thing I also wanted to do. I wanted to show people wearing it before people buy it, because I always hate when you look on clothes online and it's just like a photoshopped looking guy wearing a blank t-shirt, obviously with the design on it. So I thought this is a cool way to show what it's supposed to look like on people. A lot of good feedback on the stuff too, now that it's out. A lot of people like it a lot. People love the designs and the range we did. So I'm super happy. Hopefully we keep going and making more stuff.
Yeah, show that merch.
Cool. Yeah. Let us know if you.
And who won the hat again?
Patrick.
Le Pat the Cat.
Le Pat Cat.
Le Pat the Cat. He was on episode 12, 11 of this podcast.
Is it that long ago?
It was a couple. It was like January, right? Let me see.
I don't know.
Let me pull up YouTube on my phone.
Oh yeah. I feel like maybe it was like 13 or 12. But yeah, he had some opinions about Sekiro.
Also, he was a Quantic Dream shill.
Oh right, that's what.
Well, no, he wasn't a shill. I'm not disrespect. Oh no, he was on episode 14. He was on episode 14.
Yeah,
okay, it wasn't that long. Oh, I mean, it was kind of long. It was in February.
Dang. Oh no.
It was like 2 months ago. It was a while. Yeah. It was a while in our terms.
Yeah. So, but it wasn't rigged.
I know. If you're wondering, if you didn't win, there was a wheel spinner. I did test it to make sure it picked other names other than just the same person over again.
And you're saying, so if you would have just done it the one time, it could have been someone else.
But I had to test it. It wasn't like. But anyway, I reshuffled the names anyway after.
Okay.
So it was very fair. It was very fair. I made sure to keep it nice and balanced. I took Steve and my name out. So we can imagine the winner is me.
You didn't put
what?
I get this hat.
Crazy.
I'm the winner now.
That's crazy.
None of you get this stuff. Nothing's free here. Just kidding. Thank you for the free retweets.
Get that money. No, yeah, and I'm sure we'll do another one.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. I like giveaway stuff. It's a cool thing. So maybe we should just do like a beanie, just even though it's hot now.
Yeah.
And make them wear it. Huh?
For the fans in Alaska.
Or like in our southern hemisphere, because winter over there now.
True. The Aussie bros.
I don't know how geography works. Climate.
Yeah, the good old Australians.
Greenhouse.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, yeah, I'm super happy with the merch and short, and Feel free to buy some if you like it. It's good quality, very wearable clothes. I didn't make anything too flashy. All designed by yours truly. Which is weird to say, designing merch is a nightmare. It's way. I'd rather edit videos and have to take out like inappropriate things people say than design a t-shirt and like freak out because the tree's like not completely centered, so I need to move it this way a little bit, then move it more this way.
Yeah.
And I'm not the most detail oriented. I mean, I let things go all the time, but I don't know why. I guess because it's a permanent thing. I'm like, I need to fix this. So there's a lot of whoopsie copies of the shirt and the hat that I had to like basically eat up the cost and just be like, oh well, we'll just do it again. So
it's gonna be a collector item.
Yeah. We should raffle those. Buy the bootleg Cedar merch.
Walmart market pantry.
Yeah, get your Cedar merch, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it for me. As far as gaming and stuff, just gaming and merch has been it. Not too much else. What about you, Shua?
Just Apex. I don't know. Our third finally got internet, for ranked, and it's a big deal.
Saw that.
That's a big deal. When did he get it?
Today.
Today? Literally today?
Yeah. So so we're gonna.
That means we can continue Halo.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We can finally continue Halo.
That is very true. I forgot we did that in December?
Yeah.
We never even finished Reach, huh?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. We finished Halo Reach.
Even I finished Reach. Wait, like a year ago. I remember.
Yeah.
We that was fun actually.
That was fun.
Yeah. But yeah, we should try again.
Yeah.
That'd be a good stream.
That was a good stream last time. I'm down.
Just steamroll.
But yeah, just Apex or?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, you caught you on the Fortnite.
Oh, that's true. I was trying that out a little bit more, but yeah, I've been pretty busy, so I haven't really playing too many games. I'm gonna be out of town a little bit this weekend, and then a bunch of homework and shows and music stuff next week during spring break. It's about that season, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In the semester, and in terms of what's going on that I have to do and what's just for everyone right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm surviving.
It's hanging in there.
Yeah. How about you, Steve?
We were talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
We did. We talked about Steve first.
Yeah, we talked about me first.
We talked about Steve first. Dang, Steve. I'm sorry. I paid attention.
Fortnite?
I played Fortnite, yeah.
He played Fortnite.
I'm completely.
Yeah.
I think I'm done with Lost Ark.
That's good.
It's just very pay to win, and the way you progress is you have to level up your armor to build up your item level.
Yeah.
And the way to do that is when you get higher, the percentage chance of actually leveling up your armor gets lower each time. So the materials you need to level up, if you use those materials, they burn those materials, and you have to pretty much farm for new materials.
But can you buy those materials with cash?
You can buy those materials with cash. Yes, you can. Well, if you use the cash to buy in-game gold and then get the in-game gold to buy those materials.
Yeah.
It's very pay to win.
That's unfortunate.
Are you gonna switch over to Final Fantasy or what?
I'm not sure. It's a possibility. Yeah.
I think people call the whole subscription thing a ripoff, but really it's kind of worth it because you're not being first of all the content's available to you. Yeah, there's expansions and stuff like that, but it's pretty like it takes a while to get to having to pay for the first expansion. Like it's a lot of hours. I think it was like about 60ish plus hours before I could get to the first expansion. It's a lot of time, you know. So you definitely get your money's worth on the subscription. And plus they like literally the only thing you can really buy with cash is like mounts and stuff. You can't use cash to buy the in-game currency. So you have to earn it or trade with your like guild or whatever if you're trying to pull your money together. But there's no way to like spend actual money in order to like progress.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's still free to play up to what level? 60?
It's free to play up to level 50.
50. There we go.
Which is pretty long.
Yeah, it's, like I think I'm still in the free to play area. So
yeah, it's very very cheap to get into it, and I think it has a lot of good qualities to it in an MMO. I mean, I'm not much of an MMO guy, but it got me into it. So
now you are.
Yeah, now I am a FF14 like fiend, I guess. At one point, I've kind of leveled out a little bit since Endwalker, a little bit, but I have been itching to go back. Elden Ring kind of kept me away, but I'm ready to come home.
Dang.
It's time.
Steve needs to play Elden Ring still, man.
yeah, I know I still do.
Well, Steve will be playing it on this channel, so we'll be using him for content. Because I don't want to watch Shua play it and then give up.
I actually, I had to stop because
it's like
I got too busy, and like it's like you have to keep it up. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I'll forget what I'm doing because there's no it's not like there's like mission markers or like anything. You know what I mean?
But that's the beauty of it.
I love that.
I need to be like I have to have the time to put in for a game like that. Is the problem.
You need direction.
That's effect too, huh?
You need direction.
No, I need time. I need to be able to do it consistently. Like it's not necessarily that I need the markers, but if I'm gonna play and have to wait a week before I can play again, like I need those markers because it helps to remind me what I was doing.
Yeah. Well, the marker, you could put your own markers and stuff.
Yeah, but I'll put something down and I'll forget what it was.
Yeah. Well, but I like Elden Ring because for that purpose too. Whenever I boot it up, I always want to do something different. It's never like, oh yeah, I usually forget what I was like gonna do before the last session, unless like I played like a couple hours in between, then I'll remember. But typically it's like I'll look at the map and be like, where I haven't really like looked at too much. Okay, I want to go over there today and see what I could do. And there's always something there, so it'll take up my whole session of like 4+ hours.
Yeah, I'm considering restarting. Even though I've put in like a solid like 25 or 30 hours.
I would just stick with it, honestly.
I want to play on PC.
Oh,
I have to rebuy it.
You have to rebuy it. Well, it doesn't. Well, you have it on Series X. It would probably run just as good, no?
Oh yeah, no, that's not. I mean, I want to be able to play it with people.
Oh, you're talking about PvP and co-op.
Yeah, co-op.
Gotcha.
No one else has it on Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who would buy that on Xbox.
The Series X, it does run well.
Yeah, I'm sure, but it just runs well on my PC too.
It didn't at first.
But yeah, a whole day and a half. It's not like Cyberpunk.
Yeah, that's true. Which I heard is better now.
I'll still wait.
Is that in the news?
No, that was in the news a while back.
What, next gen version?
No, about the patches. I think we covered that.
Okay. Cyberpunk.
Yeah. No, stop shilling it. Stop. I'm cutting them off. We need to shill our actual sponsors like we will right now. Today's podcast is brought to you by Paramount Plus. One of many subscriptions of watching good television. But what will set this one apart is, of course, our man John Halo. Can't watch that anywhere else now.
His last
So,
name's not Halo.
yeah, it is. I said it, so it has to be true. I have a mic and I'm on the internet. I can say what I want now. So
That's
John
true.
Halo can be
Okay.
yours if you subscribe to Paramount Plus. Also enjoy other great shows like Star Trek, Picard, and 1883.
SpongeBob.
Very affordable. Use the link in the description of this episode. Thank you, Paramount Plus. Today's podcast is brought to you by Razer. As Razer affiliates ourselves, we're very big fans of what they have. I have the Razer Naga Pro mouse. I don't want to lift my mouse because then it's gonna mess up the overlays, but it's very nice. It's got that nice little Razer Chroma RGB, which all their stuff pretty much has, except the mouse pads. Even the mouse pads, though, have the Chroma RGB stuff. You can be like Shua right now and out of focus, or you could be a Razer gamer and use the Razer. I forget what it's called, but webcam. That stays in focus. Thank you, Razer. Use the link in the description of this episode. Today's episode is also brought to you by NordVPN. Everybody needs one of these, so why not use it now with NordVPN? Save 68% on 3 years using our link in the description of this episode. Last but not least, today's podcast is brought to you by Instacart. It's hot outside. It's crazy hot. You don't want to have to turn off your AC, go out to the store, and then come home to a hot house and turn it back on and have to wait. You could just stay home, keep watching your TV or playing your games, and let someone else brave the heat and get yourself your delicious groceries of, I don't know. What's in your grocery haul, Shua? What was in your last grocery haul?
Milk. Cereal.
Nice.
Like probably 2 cereals. Yeah, I
Two
get some
cereals.
cereal. Yeah, cereal is good for you. Coke Zero, Gatorade Zero,
Mm-hmm.
cheese sticks.
And how much time did that take you to go out to the store and get it?
Too long.
Too long. So use the description and the link in the description of this episode to get
That's
yourself a great deal on free delivery of $10 or more, while also saving yourself some time and being able to do what you want besides having to brave it out to those grocery stores. So thank you, Instacart. And now brings us to the news. News.
Yeah.
The news.
First things first, E3 is dead this year at least.
No.
Both physically and digitally. E3 2022 has been canceled, as confirmed by the ESA. What does this mean? It means Jeff Keighley wins. The real gamers rise now.
True.
His time. The Summer Games Fest has gained another soul.
Which kind of makes sense because when did PlayStation start doing their state of plays?
2019? It was like
2019.
2019 or 2018. It was
Yeah.
it was after it was after, like, it was kind of funny because it was like PlayStation got roasted super hard because they did that one E3 panel where they just showed basically 3 games. It was like they showed Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and like Horizon or something, but that was it. And it was like 2 hours long. And it was like a bunch of weird stuff in between, like musical performances and whatnot, and it just like it wasn't very cool. It was just kind of lame. And the next year they're just like, we're not doing it anymore. So it was kind of
Yeah.
meh.
It gives, I mean, publishers and studios and everything like more power to like release stuff how they want to release it. You know. information.
Yeah, and speaking on the journalism side of things, as someone who used to,
You used to be a journalist?
yeah, I know. I mean, I guess I still kind of am now with this,
Oh,
this podcast. I'm still looking at. Well, I'm not writing these articles. I'm just rereading them.
that's true. Summarizing.
I'm just looking at the news now instead of rewriting it. Um, it's a pain covering events. It's a lot of work, and you're not paid extra. Well, you kind of are. You're paid per article or whatever, and you're writing more articles during that period. But at the same time, you're not getting paid that much more. I mean, game journalists don't make a bunch of money. Big surprise. And these events are like all day, 10-hour plus, and you're working. You know, it's not like when me and Steve went to E3 and we just like screwed around for like 3 days.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. But it wouldn't be fun if we had to like write like 10 articles a day
Yeah, you're right.
in between like covering like some shitty game. Like I'm glad because now those people get to just stay at home and watch these things and just work from home. But I mean, I'm sad for people who never got to go to E3 just to enjoy it, because it is a really cool thing to go to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least from a spectator standpoint, it's really cool to be like immersed in like something you like a bunch, like video games. And I don't know, it's just such a normalized thing, and it's crazy how the games industry has changed so much in like the past 10 years. You know, E3 was like an essential part of like every video game's release, and now it's an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Yeah,
it's non-existent. So it's kind of like the times have changed, and E3 can't change with it. So it's
That's
getting
not
left behind.
necessarily a bad thing, you know.
No, it's not a bad thing, but it's definitely like a sign of the changing times, and it's a little like bittersweet because it's cool to go to video game conventions just to go, you know. And I know, given the times now with COVID and stuff, it's kind of hard to feel comfortable completely going into something like that. So I get that, but it's just totally. It's a little sad, but I mean, at the same time, I get it why on a like a business level why it's going away. But hey, you know, hopefully, Summer Games Fest comes through with the bangers. I guess it's the only hope of getting games news in the summer.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I was gonna say, are there any other like in-person gaming conventions? But there's like a ton.
There's PAX.
Yeah, there's
PAX is pretty popular. Gamescom.
Yeah.
There's Tokyo Game Show. There's a couple.
It was just different because like E3 was like, I don't know, like, I mean, I know, like, you know, like growing up, like E3 was like always at the beginning of June, so it's like kind of like, you know, kicked off summer for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, you know, all these cool new games coming out.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, these cool games come out, you know, soon. And I was like, you know, E3 of that summer.
Yeah.
So, kind of weird that it's not going to be there, but yeah, like you said, you know, it kind of makes sense though.
It makes sense. And now, yeah, it is a little sad because, you know, it used to be such a big deal because you would get all the game announcements in a single, like, short span of 2 to 3 days. But now it's like we get a little dose of game news every couple weeks. So it's very different, and we're not getting that whole experience like we used to. But it's not a big deal. I get it. It's just different.
I don't know. I like it. I mean, because we're seeing the presentations the way that, you know, they're wanting us to see it, and like, we can rewatch it whenever we want because it's just on YouTube. And then like they also are, like, the way things work now is like they can give us demos like immediately, you know, the day of. Like, we just download it, you know, at home now.
Yeah.
You know? And like maybe it doesn't work, you know, with like new consoles and like new tech and stuff like that. But like when it comes to stuff that's coming out in current gen.
Yeah. I get that. I think, well, I mean, E3 was always broadcasted. I mean, because it had to be, because it's news, you know. So there was always like live streams and stuff, and you can go back and watch old like Sony press conferences from like 2009 if you really wanted to.
The cringe
Um,
ones.
there's some the cringe ones are usually like there's like Konami ones that are pretty cringe from back in the day. Those ones are a little same with like Tecmo, like Koei Tecmo. There's like a couple of those. There's some bad ones.
Yeah.
There's the infamous Reggie, my body is ready.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Reggie. I miss Reggie.
Yeah, see that then though that like I feel like if E3 didn't exist, I don't think Reggie would have seemed as such of a character because pretty much every big Reggie meme came from like E3 press conferences. You know him holding up the little DS with his big hands, or him talking about sorry, I was playing the brand new Animal Cross.
Animal Cross. Yeah.
there's a bunch of stuff that it's sad, but I get I like I said, I get it. I think though it's just like there's such a different feeling like playing a video game in a public setting and seeing other people's reactions to like something cool as opposed to just being at home and playing a demo and being like and then uninstalling it. And just being around like live at like big set piece, like Steve can talk about too, like remember like Nintendo's booth and it was like this gigantic like
Oh yeah,
recreation
that
of-
booth was insane, dude.
yeah, it was like
It was
a
like
recreation.
they blocked off like the whole Nintendo area to themselves, and they put these giant walls block like dividing like their their Nintendo area and like was it PlayStation, right? They were right next to PlayStation, and it was insane. Like and I think the majority of the middle area was taken up by Odyssey, right?
Yeah, Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, and I know Zach, you did like what was the punching game?
Yeah, they did Arms. Yeah, they had Arms
yeah.
set up there too.
And that was sick, yeah.
Exactly.
And then we saw I always forget his name, the voice of Mario.
Charles Martinet.
Yeah, we saw him.
Yeah.
You mean Chris Pratt?
Stop.
Chris Pratt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it was dope.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things like physical, like things you couldn't get unless you were there, as far as like imagery and sights and sounds and stuff. It was such a cool, experience that might never happen again. Maybe
Not.
someone will do something physical. Maybe now we the Cedar boys got to fly to Tokyo for Tokyo Game Show.
Maybe we'll start our own game show.
No. I'm not trying to do that work.
That's too much work.
Watch like a fast forward like 2 years and we're doing something, and then someone makes this clip of me saying no, never.
Yeah, no. Probably not.
Probably
I'm
not. That sounds like a logistical like.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
merch was a big freaking hurdle for us. Like I don't know how I would present other people's stuff the way they wanted to be presented and all that. Oh man, no way.
Yeah.
But yep,
Yeah.
E3 dead. Jeff Keighley wins yet again.
What else? What else? What
Moving
else?
right now, we're moving right along. PlayStation Plus subscription is changing how they're doing things starting in June. There's different PlayStation Plus tiers now, which include the inclusion of PlayStation Now, which was, if you're not familiar, is their like subscription for streaming games. So basically, there's 3 different tiers. There's PlayStation Plus Essentials, which is basically like just PlayStation Plus, which includes everything you'd expect, like free games each month, playing online, cloud storage, blah blah blah, discounts. And then PlayStation Plus Extra, which is basically what people pay now, which is $15 a month, and that includes the PlayStation Now library, but it says subscribers will be able to download games in the library for their console to play. As far as the PlayStation Now library, current PlayStation Now subscribers will be converted to PlayStation Plus Extra subscribers at launch in June. Which this signals that PlayStation Now is going away forever, and it's going to be just tied into PlayStation Plus, which it should have been in the beginning. And then there's PlayStation Plus Premium, which will give you access to 340 additional games, including back catalog, PS1, 2, 3, and PSP games. Cool. PS3 games, unfortunately, though, at this time are still locked to cloud streaming. But PS2, PSP, and PS1 have the option. Also, the premium tier comes with a couple other perks, including game trials and streaming on PC. Similar to what's it called?
xCloud?
No, well, yeah, that too. Luna Stadia? And Stadia, yeah. So the price breakdown, like I said, premium's $18 a month. PlayStation Plus Extra is $15 a month, and PlayStation Plus Essential is $10 a month, and this starts in June. I think this is, I guess, a step in the right direction because they're getting rid of PlayStation Now finally and combining it with other stuff. And they're actually adding games that are first party too. Including Death Stranding, God of War, Spider-Man, Mortal Kombat 11.
I saw that list and it's pretty good.
So they're actually putting their own games on the subscription. So that's a good thing. I was worried it was just going to be the existing library and it wouldn't be that much stuff, but they're adding some good stuff. Do I think this rivals Game Pass? No, not yet.
I think it's
a step in the right direction.
Even I think they're just trying to get their own, like they're just trying to get their own money.
Yeah, but I think this is a step in the right direction because no matter, just $15 a month, you're getting Xbox, you're getting PlayStation Plus, like the multiplayer service and the PlayStation Now library included in that.
I think it's pretty good.
You're saving time and money in the long run, and this isn't for people like us. I think where it's like we buy games at our leisure and we're not really
as they come out.
We're not we do sometimes, but most of the time and even now I'd rather buy the game if it's new on PC than on a console, unless it's like Switch, but that's a different story. But I think this is more for like someone who's say they have a child and they don't want to buy a bunch of games for their kid, to get them caught up on video games, or someone who doesn't have a lot of time to be playing a lot of video games and just don't want to be able to play like the little flavor of the month video game. This is more for them, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to make a judgment on it, to be honest, because we don't even know what the whole list comprises of. We have those 6 games that they said, but beyond that, there's not much. And I know for sure they said that they wouldn't release anything day one. Which is the primary difference, really, of this and Game Pass at this point.
Game Pass, they do day one too, right?
Yeah, they do day one. That's not really a deal breaker anyway.
No.
Because, as long as there's games on it,
Yeah, and there's games that you'll get on there that you won't be able to get on Game Pass. That's that's it.
That's true. That's PlayStation's still their bread earner is just the games that you can't find anywhere else. That's only on PlayStation. They did a hell of a job back in the PS3 era, establishing a lot of those things that helped them when going into the PS4 era, and just basically dominating over Xbox One. But now the playing field's a little leveled now, partially due to the fact that no one can really get a PS5.
I'm trying.
Not a normal person, at least. You have to be on it, and it probably won't be normal ever.
I was gonna say because I think Target I'm set up to Target's list, and they
Oh.
send updates,
Mhm.
and so does GameStop. So if you sign up to both those, they'll send you like emails of like, oh, well, this is they're gonna drop these days. So
Yeah,
that's
but
helpful.
they still sell out.
Oh, they
Yeah,
still sell it quick.
yeah.
But
Yeah, you can't just waltz into a Target and be like, "Oh, they could. Let me get a PS5 really quick." I've been thinking about getting one. Let me go get one. Like that's not how it works. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which isn't very consumer friendly, I guess. But given the times, it's understandable.
Yeah. What you can do is go on Facebook
And pay like $800.
700, yeah, 800, yeah.
At that point, just buy a gaming PC. Just save your time and just do it.
Pretty much.
Just do it. Just do it. There's not anything worth playing on PS5 right now anyway. That would make you want to spend $800 at least.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. But moving on, Max Payne and Max Payne 2 will be getting remakes, a la Remedy and Rockstar Games coming together to make this possible. The Remedy will be handling the development, while Rockstar will finance the project, and it will be in line with typical Remedy AAA game production. They will be using Remedy's Northlight game engine, which is what was used for Control.
Yeah, cool.
So this is actually a remake, not a remaster.
Great.
So, this is cool. I was asking about this not that long ago. I was like, when are they gonna just fix
Yeah,
Max
we did talk
Payne
about
and
it.
give Max Payne 1 and 2? Yeah, because it's been forever, and they're good games. Mostly, I would say they're net positive. I think the plot of 1 is a little too much, but that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, well, it was the time. You think they'll adjust the plot?
No, I don't think they will. But I think it's just I don't know. It was kind of cringe. It was very of its time.
Yeah.
And I hate using the word cringe, but basically when I look back at Max Payne 1, at least that's how I feel. But yeah, there's no official date or anything. It's just in the works, and we'll see where that goes. Moving right along. New Witcher.
Nice.
So it will be on Unreal Engine 5, not CD Projekt's engine for what's it called? Cyberpunk. And Witcher 3 didn't use it, I don't think. But
No.
Cyberpunk did. The reasoning why is to save time on development and cost. Which makes sense, because Cyberpunk probably cost them a lot of money to fix.
And a lot of money to make back.
Unreal Engine 5 just came out, didn't it?
Yeah, it just came out. Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you're not familiar with Unreal Engine, it's free for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You only have to give a cut after your game makes $1 million, which is very indie friendly.
Yeah, reasonable. I mean,
Yeah, that's reasonable. I mean, if your game makes more than $1 million, then yeah, maybe the person who designed your game engine. That's a lot of work. That's like most like AAA studios like brunt of work is like making an engine.
Yeah.
To host their
Isn't
games.
it Fortnite on Unreal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fortnite uses Unreal.
It's on 5? Yeah.
Not yet. Is it? No, it's not on 5 yet. I don't think so.
But they're advertising it as 5, I think.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, they probably will update it to 5,
Yeah.
if not already.
That's epic. I mean, they have to.
But moving along with Unreal Engine 5, Tomb Raider, the next one will be on Unreal Engine 5. So
It's not.
Crystal Dynamics announced during the State of Unreal 2022 that they will be making a high-quality cinematic action-adventure experience for the upcoming Tomb Raider game. I don't know. I don't have much experience with Tomb Raider.
The new ones? Yeah.
Yeah, the new ones. I don't really have much experience with it. It's I played the first one of the remakes,
reboot, yeah, that one was
and
good.
it's good, but it's weird because I heard that the tone for the other two are also the same, of like just gritty
Yeah,
and stuff, which is a big departure from what Tomb Raider used to be.
yeah, I could go for a reboot of it. I mean, it kind of, I don't know if it wrapped everything up, but it was like 3 games and it didn't really go anywhere. And
Yeah,
for me at
exactly.
least, I mean,
Yeah, and that's what I heard too, and which is kind of unfortunate because I think Uncharted kind of stole their thunder,
yeah,
unironically, which is kind of it's a little
yeah,
sad because it was like, oh, Uncharted just stole from Tomb Raider, but then Tomb Raider tried to steal back from Uncharted and it didn't work,
yeah.
and so here we are now, where it's like now they got to figure out what they want to do next. But it will be on Unreal Engine 5, and who knows when it comes out.
You know, that's beautiful.
Moving right along. Elden Ring patch buffs a boss who accidentally got nerfed. Star Scourge Radon. One of many bosses in the game. One of the more infamous ones because he's got a little bit of, I'll just say it bluntly, he's got a little bit of bullshit where he can kill you quickly.
Is he the one that rides on the little horse?
Yeah, he's the one who rides on the little horse.
That's cute.
He's got some stuff that like will just kill you. And at first probably people were like, oh man, like from my view, it was like a lot of people complain like, oh man, he's too hard, like this game's unplayable, blah blah blah. But really he was like, it's not like he was a nameless king from Dark Souls 3 or anything like crazy hard. He just had a little bit of stuff that made him kind of not that doable first go. But then he got nerfed really hard and he became laughably easy to fight. And then it turned out it was a mistake that FromSoft didn't mean to nerf him. They were just trying to adjust some fixes. So they rebuffed Radon. Now he's back to normal. So his damage has been increased back to normal and he can kill you in one hit again.
Lovely.
Lovely indeed. We love to see that. Exciting news for Shua. Apex Legend got their native PS5, Xbox Series X release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of feels the point now. I play on PC.
4K resolution, 60 hertz, and full HDR. Doesn't matter if you play on PC because you can already do that. But it runs natively now on next gen. It's not upscaled. So
I'll try it out.
yeah, I mean, why don't they just add building or something?
I'm kind of surprised they didn't like give another option though to have it run at 120 because the Xbox could do it.
Well, it does mention including they outline a number of updates coming in the future, mentioning 120 adaptive triggers for PS5.
Oh, that's cool.
And some other stuff like that, but that's not till later on. But yeah, that's what I thought too, because it's like, I mean, locked 60 is fine and stuff, but I imagine if you're wanting to play this more competitively, you probably want the higher frame rate more than the 4K resolution.
Yeah.
Most people probably rather play 1080 if it meant 120.
Yep.
So I don't know. It was kind of a weird call. And then last but not least, Gran Turismo 7 bad. Had a shaky launch. Basically, Gran Turismo 7, if you didn't know, had a lot of very sleazy pay wall type deals, including cars costing up to $40 for a single car in a game you already paid $60 for.
It's not a real car.
It's not a real car. It's just if you want the cool car that didn't come with the base game, you had to pay more money to buy the car. And also because of the DRM that the game uses on the PlayStation, even though it's on a PlayStation, of course it's not stolen. It made the game unplayable because servers went down, and you needed to be able to connect to a server to authenticate that you could play the game.
beat that.
But yeah, basically the game devs are somewhat apologizing and increasing reward benefits on things, because basically progression, and this is what I heard about Gran Turismo 7 when it came out. Prior to it coming out, during the review period, basically, the game fundamentally was different than when it came out at release. As far as progression and paywalls and all that stuff was completely hidden from the review version of the game. So when it got good reviews, then they put out the paywall. They did the day one patch deal.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I know that's the next level sleaziness.
I see.
So they added they throttled progression, so that way you'd have to spend money if you wanted to earn a car. And basically, yeah, there's a lot of that in that game. And Polyphony Digital is giving away credits that are worth about $10, so you only need $30 more to buy a car.
Nice.
One car. Yeah. But yeah, they're increasing rewards. They say, just, I guess the bad press got to them, more or less.
I'm sure that was it.
And
Not the money.
And a bunch of I forget what racing game said you could play this game now when the servers were down on Gran Turismo 7. I want to say it was Forza, but I don't think it was. It was someone else tweeted out you could play our game now, because Gran Turismo 7 was down and you couldn't play it on the day it came out. So there was a lot of cheekiness going on, and deservedly so. It's just a weird thing that they're doing, and this is a very surprising move from Sony, given Sony doesn't need, I mean, I shouldn't say this because all corporations are we need more money, but it's Sony definitely doesn't need more money. So why are they killing one of their franchises over games of service sort of outline, they're Gran Turismo 7 is probably going to sell just fine. Why do they need to potentially risk killing and tarnishing the entire Gran Turismo name in exchange for a couple extra bucks off of each user? I don't know. True. But anyway, I guess play Forza in the meantime.
Oh yeah.
It's on PC and Xbox. And if you have a PlayStation, I'm sorry. I guess there's games on PlayStation for racing. Dirt.
Need for Speed.
I mean, those aren't really. Well, I guess Forza's not really a purist racing game either, because Gran Turismo, that was the whole aspect.
We didn't talk about how Fast and the Furious is getting removed from the
I
store.
knew, Steve. Did I tell you this out loud? I was like, she was probably gonna want to talk about this.
I think you did.
Yeah, that's
so bad.
It's off now, right? It's off the store now.
Already?
I think it's out. It's out. It's off now, right?
That was so fast. I wanted to buy it still.
Why did you want to buy it? But anyway, the Fast and the Furious game is got delisted. Probably because of licensing. I don't think it was because it was that bad. I think it had to do with licensing.
Let's see. When is it?
No different than movie tie-in games.
Was it digital only?
No, there was physical. I remember seeing it at stores, sitting.
Well, I guess I could find it, huh?
Yeah, you could, if you really want it. I wanted to talk about this too. I want to play Wheelman.
This will be delisted by the end of the month.
I was still on. Check your Steam page.
April 29th. Yep, I'm sure it'll go on sale.
He's like, wait till then.
That would be a good LP.
I don't know though.
Family, dude.
Dude, the family thing will be funny for 5 minutes, and then you're like, oh, this is just a bad game.
Yeah.
And then we're just quiet for another 30 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Then we rip off the movies.
Yep.
Yeah,
The
but
whole time.
that's what we
And
thought we could do with Casper. And then
that was
It's because we didn't watch Casper before we played
Yeah.
Casper.
I've never even seen Casper. I don't think.
we only played that game for like 20 minutes, but it felt like 2 hours. I've never felt like something dragged on so much more than that experience. Like Sonic 06 was more enjoyable, like from like a passenger perspective.
It was fun to watch Steve play that.
It was more fun to watch that. But Casper was just like a puzzle game with like some stealth mechanics, or well, it wasn't really stealth. It was just like taking damage was inevitable.
Super weird.
Like, you couldn't not get hurt by things.
Some Doom music.
Yeah, some Doom. It turned out to be a good video, but it was a terrible game.
Yeah. Well, kind of the point.
Yeah, I know, kind of, but it wasn't funny terrible. I had to be very creative.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh,
Games to watch out for releasing this month. Lego Star Wars. The
It's out.
Skywalker.
Dude, yeah, it's out.
it's out,
I know.
and it
I
has
was thinking about
Devil
it.
May Cry
I was-
combat.
I was looking at it right now.
I want to play it. MLB
know.
The Show 22.
Why are you saying these games?
Chrono Cross. Dude, Chrono Cross? You don't want to play Chrono Cross?
No, I don't.
The House of the Dead remake on Switch?
I would play that, but I don't want to play a Chrono Cross.
Also on Switch, Star Wars Force Unleashed.
Oh yeah, no, it's the Wii version. It's the Wii version that's coming. Yeah, it's the
Then you can hold it though.
Oh wow, yeah,
And then Nintendo Switch Sports, which is kind of huge actually. April 29th.
yeah.
Tormented Souls is coming to Xbox, as well as all the other ones.
Why do you care about that?
I don't really actually.
Is it a slow month?
Yeah, it's kind of a slow. Well, yeah. I mean, March was such a banger month. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to, because March gave us Elden Ring and Kirby.
Yeah. Godfall, I guess. I heard it's bad though.
You're talking about Babylon's Fall?
No,
Godfall.
What's Godfall?
Yeah, it's like a hack and slash type.
Yeah.
Godfall is
Terrorbane?
Godfall. Well, wait, Godfall's already out.
Yeah, it's like today. Unless
The
it's
Exalted
the
update, the Ultimate
Edition,
Edition.
Ultimate Edition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, it came out. It was like a launch title for the PS5.
I think it's-
thought. Yeah, it came out with the PS5 one in 2020.
It's coming to Xbox this month, I think.
Oh,
2020?
yeah,
Dang, that's rough.
yeah. I remember seeing a trailer. I was like, this looks terrible. Well, yeah, I thought it looked terrible.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all on my radar from April.
There's not much to look forward to this year. Now that Breath of the Wild's delayed.
We're talking about Saints Row. No, I'm kidding.
Well, yeah. Oh man, Saints Row reboot. Oh boy.
Garfield?
Garfield the game. Yeah.
Garfield? No, whatever.
Starfield? Oh,
Yeah.
The Bethesda. I bet you that gets
Starfield.
I bet you that gets delayed too.
Possibly Stalker.
Yeah, there's literally nothing that I could think of that I'm like, oh, I'd want to play that. The only thing I thought about playing this year was Elden Ring. That was it.
Thought about playing with my heart.
Maybe Horizon. Maybe I'll finally play Zero Dawn. But that's not a new game.
But would you play even the new one?
It depends if I like the first one.
But that game's outdated now, Like,
Well, that shouldn't matter.
You're telling me that Steve has to play Resident Evil 1 before he can play Village?
I mean, you'd probably say that, but
Yeah.
you don't understand who these characters are until you play where it all started.
That's true.
You don't know who Chris Redfield is. You don't know him how I know him.
That's true. Dang, that's crazy. All right, you got me.
Yeah, I know. You used a bad example. You should have said like Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
But I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West are actually tied together, right? They're direct
Yeah, I
sequel.
think so.
It's a
Yeah.
direct
Yeah.
sequel, so
Mhm.
it makes sense that you would need to play the first to get a grasp,
You should play Resident Evil 7.
to get a whole to idea of 8 or
Yeah.
Village. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. But Steve did
Yeah, true.
on this channel.
On the
Oh,
channel.
you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, those VODs are gone. Well, they're archived. We can still see them, but other people can't.
Dang.
I mean, okay, if you want Steve's cut of playing Resident Evil 7 back on the channel, uncensored,
Yeah.
uncut, let us know in the description of this episode.
Yeah, I hung through the screen.
Yeah, yell at Steve. Call his. I'll put his phone number on the screen right here. Give him a call and say you want to see him uncensored and uncut
Dang.
playing Resident Evil 7.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It sounds dirty.
It does.
Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 7, baby. Biohazard. But that's all I had for news and stuff.
That's all I had.
Please look forward to future videos for Cedar Squared, and don't forget our merch is out now. Get your shirts, get your hats and stuff, because they'll be gone before you know it. And then you'll be like, dang, I wish I got that hat. Now I have to go steal Josh's.
My bucket hat, my limited edition.
Yeah, the rejected merch.
Yeah. And also feel free to join our Discord server at the bottom in the link of this episode.
Oh, I
You know
guess
what
I'm adding that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, join our Discord
let people
server.
join.
It's legit now.
Yeah, come hang out, and then if you're in here, then we can actually stream together. We could have you.
Oh, stop
Look at
making
that.
parasocial relationships, Shua.
Parasocial.
Yeah, parasocial, where people think they're friends with the streamers.
Wow.
It's
dude,
like a
you're
whole
saying
psychological thing.
St. Patrick isn't friends with us.
No, I'm not, you're just calling out to the ether right now, though. Patrick
Oh,
is
yeah.
our friend, but
I say, hey, if you want a chance at playing with us, join the server.
that's a low
Yeah.
statement.
Yeah.
There's some ethical issues going on right now. That's a good
Dude,
place.
We'll have a lottery system.
That's
No,
a good place. This is a good
Stop,
place.
stop.
She's gonna get us in trouble. Anyway, thank you for listening to this podcast. Feel free to hit that follow, thumbs up, whatever or wherever you're at. Feel free to watch our other videos. We do play video games, not just talk about them. And we also
Yep.
stream too on the Twitch, so feel free to hit a follow on that so we can stream more. I've been Zach.
I've been Shua.
And I've been Steve.
See you later.
Later.
Hey, bro.